So whether I was here at the snake facility with hundreds of snakes or I just had 2 snakes at home, here are 5 items that I think you're gonna want on the daily if you're working in a snake room. Let's start simple and we'll get more complicated from there. Item number 1 is gonna be something for annotating notes. Now for this, I have our humble Sharpie marker. If this is what you're gonna use to take notes, costs like $1, you can buy it anywhere. Another thing that I find myself using all the time is the note-taking app on my cell phone. So I can put pictures in there, I can write different notes down and things like that. That's a great way to just take track of what's going on with the animals. I'll show you what I mean. So around here, we have a specific labeling system that lives on the snake's tubs. If you guys would actually like to see what all that code means, if that's something you think would make a cool video, let me know in the comments section below. But basically, you're gonna want some kind of note taking for taking notes about what the animal is doing. Did it eat? Did it refuse? When's the last time it shed? What did you feed it? Is the snake eating every time? Does it prefer different items? Does it have any unusual behaviors or health issues? Was there ever anything that you needed to take it to the vet for, from your initial exam when you get the animal to any health issues throughout life? So whether it is just throwing some stuff down with a Sharpie on a piece of tape, or whether it's something that you want to do on your note-taking app so that you can have something a little bit more sophisticated, you're going to need some kind of note-taking with you at all times in the animal room. Item number 4. Now, this is something that I always end up having a need for, a use for, so if I can just clip it on my pocket, I'm ready to go. And it's just a simple razor knife. Now, you can go complex. If you're gonna have a really nice, easy time using one, I love this Milwaukee Fastback. I think it's probably the best, quickest, most fun to play with, flick back and forth razor knife that you can use. And because it folds in half, it gets a lot smaller and I'm able to walk around with it. But you don't even have to go this complex. A lot of times what I find myself using are these. These are like, I don't know, 25 cents each. Just really simple warehouse style box cutters. And to be perfectly honest, I hardly ever even use the handle. Most of the time I'm just using the blade itself, and I typically kind of store it by stuffing it in something wooden that's up out of the way where someone isn't going to get cut, obviously. But these are great for a number of different reasons. One of the most common things for a razor blade is actually just going through and cleaning glass, but there's a number of different things where you might end up needing to cut something. But a quick one that clips onto your belt and flips out really easily is great to grab for any little quick cut, trim, or edit that you need to make of actual physical material in the room. The next few items are going to get more and more reptile specific. So item number 3 is going to be an infrared temperature gun. Now, a lot of care sheets and setup videos, ooh, it's beeping at me. A lot of videos, they're gonna talk about having thermometers in cages. I would hope that that would be obvious. But the truth is, I use one of these point and shoot types much more often than any kind of stationary thermostat. The reason why is stationary thermostats are typically reading like an air temperature, and these are reading a surface temperature. In other words, the stuff your snake actually interacts with. And it can tell you a lot more than do I simply have the proper temperature gradient for my animals. So even if I were only to have one snake, I think this is probably going to be one of my very first items to buy. So a temp gun over any other kind of thermometer is going to be critically important, because not only can you take the temperature of the cage, but I can take the cool side of the temperature over here by the water. Let's see what kind of a gradient we got. 79, the hottest point in the cage. Here we have 84 right now. I can shoot the actual temperature of the snake itself, its food items, anything in between. We're going to use these things all the time, especially to determine if there's anything wrong. The first thing I always tell people when they come to me with a question, email, why is my snake doing this or that doesn't seem right? What are the temperatures in the cage? Because they're responsible for so many different behaviors, you wouldn't believe it. For item number 2, I have chosen, these ones are actually from Redline Science. They are some Hemostats. There's a number of different places you can get these, and there's a number of different styles. But really what you want is something that's gonna act as an extension of your hand. These are most important when offering a food item, You'll pick that up and show the snakes. We'll show you how that works downstairs. Okay, now in our snake room, we have a lot of different sizes of snakes and a lot of different uses. So we've got like the kind of standard pinch tongs, the extra long pinch tongs, and of course the hemostat tongs. But it's just gonna vary on your preference. Everybody around here actually has their own favorite. So it comes down to a personal thing a lot of times. But basically what you want is something that you can remove the heat signature of your hand from whatever you're doing on the end when it comes to the animal, such as feeding, you know, if I was offering a food item, or if I just needed to reach in and grab something real quick and pick it up. It's really handy to have some hemostats like that stuffed in your pocket and ready to go. One thing I would recommend, regardless of which type you get, is that you get something with the little serrations on the end there, because it really helps in situations where your fingers and your fingertips are just not quite enough to grab on as tightly as you need to. It's great to have that handy set of tongs or hemostats ready to go to help you get that grip in a moment's notice. All right, and item number one, any guesses? I'm going into my snake room. First thing I need to grab, what do you guys think? Comment below. We're gonna do the Dora Explorer thing. Like, what do you think? Great idea. Item number one is the venerable snake hook. Now I think these are a little bit intimidating because they look like some kind of a weapon, right? But they're not used that way at all. This is not something to defend myself from an animal or anything like that. It is yet another extension of my body that I can interact with the snake that puts a safe distance between me and the snake. Now, a lot of people think, okay, this is to put a safe distance between me and the snake so the snake doesn't hurt me. And a drop hook like this would probably be something that you would use, let's say if you were tailing a venomous rattlesnake and using that hook to control the front part of the body. But more importantly, in a captive bred, pet environment, this tool is going to help the snake feel safe from you. Now, the biggest thing with the hook as an extension of my being is that it is not warm-blooded and presents no heat signature. So you're not going to confuse the snake that you're either a predator coming to get them or a prey item that they should come and get. So we start off all the time just by using the hook to go ahead and open the cage. It's handy to have a cage that you can do that with. And might be something you want to keep in mind. Having it light and well balanced means it's very easy for me to set down, move around, and work with. And we do hook training around here at Out Reptiles, which basically means if I come in to approach this girl, she's obviously now aware of my presence. You can see her tongue flicking. I just want to let her know that we're not here to do anything other than to move or manipulate her, whether it's to clean the cage or have a look at her or whatever it is. So I'm just going to use my hook and give her a little pet on the head, and she can see that I'm way back here and she's being interacted with all the way back in the depths of this cage. And then furthermore, I can use that hook to go ahead and just grab a part of her and bring towards me for easier handling and removal if I want to work with the animal. So the things I look for in a snake hook, and the ones that have made my favorite snake hooks, is this one's actually from Venom Life Gear, is a very sturdy handle, one that doesn't twist or come off. So it has to be solidly attached. I also want my snake hook to be well balanced and very light. This is extremely lightweight. It's really easy to move and manipulate. It doesn't have to be exceptionally strong for any of the use cases here. You might want a more sturdy hook if you're going out into the field and flipping rocks and ripping things over. But for handling your captive animals, again, it's just an extension to your body to help the snake feel comfortable and you to feel comfortable as well, so that everyone knows what to expect. So those are my 5 items. I'd love to know what are yours. Go ahead and put them in the comment section below. And if you guys want to know more about what kind of stuff to do around the snake room, maybe watch these videos right here. Thanks guys, we'll catch you next time.